Ahoy everyone, it is Saturday, it is around noon, New York City time. My microwave is really gross, ew, I should probably clean that. I'm gonna make some lunch with leftovers and the stragglers of the week's groceries. We have some greens. Samira gave me some choice Filipino pork products that her family cooked. So we have those rice rolls and we have my greens. We have various condiments. We have a little bit of protein. We have some canned fish that I could eat. So I was thinking of making like summer rolls. So basically I'm thinking about blanching the greens that are in that box right there. Dressing them simply, maybe in a little bit of sesame oil and MSG and whatnot. And then just soaking the rice papers and making myself little rolls, and we can make each one a little bit different. Use some of the Filipino pork in some, and canned fish in others, and I also have cheese, and I made black sesame paste, and I made cashew butter, and I keep thinking about what can I do with those instead of just eating them straight out of the jar with condensed milk, which is absolutely one of the most amazing things I could put in my mouth. But I feel like there's room for creation there with black sesame paste especially. I keep thinking about like the glutinous rice balls that I never got to make for Chinese New Year. And if you have any other black sesame desserts that you like, feel free to shout them out so I can think about what to make with my black sesame paste. But yeah, we're just gonna make some lunch and we're just gonna chill. It's been about a week since I last streamed. I've been feeling the same amount of, I think I'm just holding steady in a plateau of burnout, but it's been coming to my consciousness that I am pivoting and fluctuating and just traveling between two poles of anxiety. I don't know if this will resonate with anyone else. Have fun painting your living room. And but my two poles of anxiety being, oh my god, I have so much to do and not enough time to do them, and the other pole being, holy shit, why is everything so peaceful and I must be forgetting to do something and I must be procrastinating on something, and just not being able to exist in that medium of like, I am here now, I am going to do these things and they will be okay whether or not I finish them. And the other one being, it is okay to rest and not do anything, and it is okay to forget things, and it is okay to be boring and just not have a whole day planned out, or maybe even a whole week planned out. I don't know. I'm at that point in my brain where I'm just like, you good? We good? You okay? Is there anything that is like an emergency right now? I could be having a cavity. I've been having tooth sensitivity. I should probably see a dentist. It would be nice if I had health insurance. I'm sure this is a way that my mom started normalizing her health issues and not getting them checked out, and probably contributed towards her dying a week short of her 62nd birthday. So I'm mindful of all of that. I'm trying to gauge where the line is between not freaking out like a hypochondriac and also not letting self-abandonment be a mainstay in my lifestyle. I think it is okay to self-abandon sometimes, but I think there is a threshold that I have to navigate and gauge and set for myself so that I don't end up becoming my mother in the worst way possible, which I used to think is, oh my gosh, she's so controlling and smothering. But no, actually the worst thing about my mother was she never took care of herself and neglected her needs as a lifestyle, and it became normalized for her. So that's what's going on in my mind. But yeah, nothing too drastic happening here today. We don't have enough energy to do much. so we won't do much. We'll just do a little. Oh God. Alright. I've been buying my 3 bunches of veggies from the farmer's market every week, and I've been doing my bestest to eat those 3 bunches of veggies every week. Because diet is pretty important for health and all, you know. I think back often to that food therapist I mentioned in my depression eating video. How, you know, like, you don't always have to deprive yourself of things, you just have to add on the things that you probably would want to include in your diet for balance. And so I keep eating everything that I want to eat, including the quote-unquote bad stuff, but we also have to eat our veggies. And also I have in here some barley water. It's just literally barley and water cooked until it's like a carby liquid. And I will be guzzling it right now. And when the jar was a little bit fuller, it made a delightful glug glug sound. I don't know if we can replicate it or get it on camera, but that is one of life's small pleasures that bring me great joy when it happens. Okay, great. Fillings are cheaper than root canals, indeed. So we're just bringing some water up to a boil, and I'm going to be blanching the greens. So believe it or not, these are from the farmer's market, but these are the same greens that I had in one of my Budget Eats episodes. I believe they were like related to amaranth. I don't know if anybody can plant ID this vegetable for me, because I forgot to look it up and now I'm embarrassed that I don't know what it is, but we got brains and we got culture in the chat. So if you're the one with the right brains and the right culture to solve this current question, let us know what greens these are. It tastes like spinach and broccoli had a bebe, and it's like nutty and slightly bitter, and it has these little clusters that look very pollinated actually, and when I washed it my water turned grainy and yellow because they have these little clusters of like yellow powder on them. But yeah, that's what we'll be blanching, and I'm gonna blanch this whole batch in that shallow pot of water, and then we'll use that same shallow pot of water to soften our rice papers. So I'll get a bowl to put the blanched plants in after, and then we can season it. Let's get some tongs here. I don't think it's lamb's quarters. A good guess. It does repel water off its leaves the same way that lamb's quarters does. Is that plural or singular? I don't know. So that was a good guess, for sure. But no. Incorrect. I think incorrect. I believe incorrect. I'll save the looser leaves for their own blanch, because I don't think I want to be fishing out. Well, actually, no, they can go right on top, since they'll blanch even faster. Perfect. It's smelling nutty, which is a signal for me that they are cooking, and that the first batch that I put in there is probably already fully cooked. I love the salad container. I got it so many months ago. I got it way before I got dumped. So that container is probably like, I don't know, half a year old at least. Alright, we're going to turn the water off. The greens are almost translucent and deep forest green. So we'll just go ahead and drain it off, fish it out, and we'll chop it up with some scissors, so that the fibrous parts aren't so hard to eat, and then we'll season it. Understand Mom a lot more now. It's weird. I don't know if anyone else in the Dead Parents Club can resonate with this, but I understand her motivations a lot more clearly now. You know, 2.5 years after she died. I find myself doing a lot of the same things or similar things, and finally understanding how she came to these decisions. So sometimes time will show you everything. Just not when you would like to have understood it. But sooner or later, it becomes evident. So we're gonna put a little bit of soy, and this is the same seasoning that I put in Grandma's noodles now. A little MSG, a little salt, so triple the sodium. Then we put in some sesame oil and I want to do a little bit of white pepper. A little black pepper. What else do we want in here? I don't know. Maybe that could be it for now. What if we just kept it simple? Something I almost never do, but maybe could benefit from doing more of. I don't know. This is Mom's MSG. It's got like very Jimmy-like cuts. It's like a long stick, you know, like a sprinkle, but they call them Jimmies when they're sticky like that. They're not the nonpareil types. So I don't know what brand Mom got. You can get them anywhere. Ajinomoto is the most popular one, I think. I see them in different grocery stores now, not just Asian ones. So I don't think it matters. I don't have brand loyalty, so you know. Great. This is Samira's gift. I already ate part of it. It's like a Filipino pork dish. It's very, very salty. So let us use it like a condiment with these greens, and also I have some pickled onion that we can put in there for crunch. I'm not seeing anybody today, so we can go a little wild with that. I don't know if this is still good, actually. Cucumbers? Let's drain this liquid. I DK about this liquid. Okay. All right. Rice papers. Set our cutting board down. I believe with rice papers, all you have to do is to put them in pretty hot water, like we have here, and then they soften, and that's it. You don't really need to boil them. In fact, if you do boil them, it makes them much, much harder to work with because they get even stickier. So we'll just take one sheet and we'll plop it in our hot water. Oh, these sheets are so old, they cracked right away. Oopsies. So don't keep your sheets for years on end. Probably use them when they're fresh. I'm gonna Google the amaranth thing. All right. Amaranth related greens. Tastes like broccoli and spinach. It's not callaloo, is it? Damn, I wish I took better photos at the farmer's market, but I did not. So since this is broken, it will not be a great wrap. But let's see what we can do with this not great wrap. Maybe let's just try a veggie one first. Won't be pretty, and it won't be enveloped because it's ripping all over the place. But we can eat it, and we will eat it. Oh, I should have made a dipping sauce. That's already pretty good. Wow. Okay. I found this in my cabinet today. It's Dip It Lao by Sang. And Sang used to be a freelancer at Delish when I worked there. He's kind of blown up on his own since then. He gifted me this before I ever got fired. So this is at least 2 years old now. It's been stored in my pantry for the most part. So IDK how it's gonna be, but I feel like it is time for us to try it. I've actually no idea what it's supposed to taste like, but I'm assuming salty. The ingredients, it says fiery roasted chilies pounded with galangal, tamarind, and maize special seasonings into a sweet and spicy chili paste. Dip sticky rice in it, mix it into your noodle soup, spread it on meals, refrigerate after opening. Lasts up to 3 months in the refrigerator. Whoops. This says pepper, onion, garlic, galangal, tamarind, fish sauce, salt, MSG, sugar, vegetable oil. There is currently no expiration date. So we're just gonna dab a little bit. Dab it sparingly in case it's super salty, which it might be. It's like a fermented bean paste almost. That's what it reminds me of. Hello, I'm Schneckenhaus. Alright, second. This is going so poorly, y'all. My rice paper is just not cooperating, sadly. So we can microwave these into chips, I suppose. Or just keep eating them like noodles. But really fun meal for the summer is just some hot water and rice paper, and you can wrap whatever you want in it. It's like a burrito, but lighter. So I'm looking forward to eating the rest of these rice papers in some capacity. Yeah, they're like amaranth greens. I don't know if that's what they're called, but they're pretty delicious. I'm going to see if these pickles are still good, and if they're not, we should probably throw them out. I'm just gonna bite into it like a savage. Oh, no. Those should not be consumed any longer. They have turned to wine. Too long. Into the compost bag you go. Glad we figured that out. Let's try some of Samira's pork in here, broken up into pieces. A little greens in our bite. If I had perfect rice paper, I feel like I could be selling these rolls for so much money somewhere. You know, somewhere in Manhattan, some bitch is gonna pay for this. I would pay for this. I would be that bitch. I would be my own bitch buying my own stuff. The pork is a little tangy, so it adds a little bit of acidity. And believe it or not, I actually like the veggie version better, like the veggie only version. I wonder how many calories is in one rice paper. It says there's 3.5 servings in the container, and it says it's 330 calories per serving. So there's over 1,000 calories in this original package. But I don't know if this was the original amount that came with it. In any case, having a great time eating my vegetables. All right, now I will look back on chat and see what I've been neglecting after this bite. Should we try microwaving some of the sad pieces? Just to see what they would turn into. Oops, just
Broke another one. Accidentally, I promise I didn't do that on purpose. Yeah, these are way too old. We have to finish eating these this summer. For surezies. Alright, a few chips on the plate. We'll just give them a little Mikey. Okay. I think they could have used more time, but not bad for 30 seconds. As you can see, some of them turned white, some of them did not. These might break my teeth. Probably not. They might hurt my mouth a little bit though. Milkshake. I vaguely remember you. But I can vaguely remember anything if you want me to. Honestly, the brain is malleable like that. Glad you're back. They're kind of salty. They're kind of like a lot of Asian bagged snacks, actually. The crunch of rice snacks is so different from the crunch of potato snacks. It's so different from the crunch of corn snacks. Corn snacks are always snappier if they're in a chip form, like Fritos or tortilla chips. If they're in a corn puff, they tend to be mealier and sweeter than potato, which has an astringency to them. Potato is always fluffier in any chip form, I feel like. Rice always has like a crunch to it, like a snap crunch. And I think it's the one that bonds most immediately to the moisture in your mouth and just like sticks to it. You know? Sorry for the boring live today. I was hoping I would have more energy to like maybe bake a dessert. We still can. I'm just feeling pretty tired. Here's the black sesame paste. This is about a pound of black sesame seeds that I toasted in a pan, that exact one in fact. Put it in my Vitamix. Sesame seeds blend gorgeously. They don't take anywhere near the amount of time that almond butter requires to turn into a smooth ass glistening paste. This tastes amazing on a spoon with condensed milk, sweetened condensed milk. This is my cashew butter. I roasted the cashews in the oven and also used the Vitamix for them. Also way easier to turn into butter than almond or peanuts, which I think just means that cashew butter, or cashews rather, just have more inherent fat, which makes it easier to blend up. And this has a little bit of maple sugar in it, so it's sweetened. This one has a little bit of salt in it, so it can swing savory or sweet. So if you have ideas for, I'm thinking about making some sort of a concoction with the black sesame paste. So if you have ideas, let me know. time for a glug glug. And it's time for our vitamins. So if you didn't take yours yet, here's your reminder. This is barley water, which I'm cooking in this pot right here. Just water and barley. It kind of has a semi-iridescent, not iridescent. It reminds me of moonstone. Does anybody remember moonstone? It has that kind of like opalescent tinge to it. Yes, cashews. We love them. I do wonder, maybe there's some kind of spice that isn't salty that I can put on here. Ooh, how about a little citron peppercorn? This is gonna get dangerous. That's a lot. Wish me luck. This might be a one biter. Mmm. Yum. Okay. Citron peppercorns on the meat is a go. Would recommend. Your pepper grinder is made of glass? That sounds very dangerous. Can I just talk about something not so PG? I've always wondered about the nightmares you can have with like glass dildos. Any chip, any like fracture, just sounds like a nightmare. So I do wonder. Sounds risky. But maybe some people's pleasures are heightened by that risk. I don't know. Just thinking about it makes me a little scared. Very scared. They look pretty though. You know. They certainly feel like the most abstract form of dildos you can buy. Okay, we still got our rip. This is a pretty cohesive roll here. Mmm. That citron peppercorn works so well with the pork. Okay, is it time to talk sex toys? I would like to know what constitutes a good base on a dildo. What does that mean? This is like Sex Ed 101 today. This is great. Today we learn about everyone's sex toy preferences. Something to grip and make sure it doesn't get sucked up. Some of us are not built like others. Damn. I don't know what kind of superpower you have equipped down there, but I don't think I have that. Thank you for the education. I think another reason I don't really want to bake is like it's getting hot. It's reaching 80s today over here. So the desire to cook will ever decline as time goes on. All right, leftovers are delicious. Let's try another spice on here, because my tongue is going a little haywire. Let's try little purple shallot and coriander. I also wanted to give a PSA to those of you who are watching who really like Za'atar and have purchased the burlap and barrel one. It seems like we will be going out of stock of the Za'atar blend in August, and we do not know when it will come back in stock because of the ongoing violence in Palestine right now. Harvesting is impossible. We don't really know when things will get better. So currently we do not foresee that coming back in stock for as long as this violence lasts, and probably longer, because the land is being neglected, and it will take time for it to recover. So just thought you might want to know that, and if you wanted to stock up, please don't hoard, but if you wanted to stock up on 1 or 2 jars, this is your heads up. Here we go. Highly recommend this as a meal during the hotter months. It's very cooling to eat. Oh, there's more sex toy talk. I'm catching up. Thank you. Oh man. Oh man. I feel like I'm a virgin all over again reading these. This is a great question. Did porn and sex toys ruin us for relationships? I know you said LOL, but sometimes I do wonder to what extent media affects our own interpretations and reenactments of media. Like, I think our reality is constantly on a feedback loop with media, right? And this is why it's so important that journalism can be a very powerful brainwashing tool, and that we have to recognize that, especially when in the last 7 months we've seen how mainstream media that we've seemingly come to rely on for news have taken extremely biased stances that just kind of propagate propaganda for various causes, motivated by various social capital and financial capital. And so I do think about the effects of porn, media, on our digestion of how we should be behaving and what we should be doing in our own sex lives, in our own relationships. I'm not against porn consumption, but it's kind of like I'm not against people eating dessert and sugar, even if you eat like shitty Hershey's bars. Sure, we all want some peanut M&Ms from time to time, and it's available, so we don't have to like deprive ourselves of it, even though we can recognize that there are probably much better quality stuff out there for us to consume. But it's a matter of like, how much of it do you consume, and how much of it do you let it become you, right? Because it's just like, if I eat shitty chocolate for 2 weeks, which I have done before, it doesn't make me feel the same way as eating higher quality chocolate for 2 weeks, which I have also done before. And it doesn't make me feel the same as when I absolutely have zero chocolate for 2 weeks. So just thinking about the effects that it would have on us individually too. Not everyone intakes and digests and absorbs in the same way. So depending on how much you know about yourself, how does it affect us? And I think about this in the context of not just porn either, but like even movies like rom-coms. How much rom-com narratives have affected our view of what a healthy, normal, happy relationship should look like, what the trajectory of its development should look like, and how much it makes me freak out sometimes when I feel like, oh, this isn't the way it's supposed to go. And then it takes me a very long time to hit a point of like depression and anxiety and stress and like self-destructive behaviors, honestly, to be like, wait, who told me how it should go? Like, who wrote that blueprint? And why am I following it? And I think back to this a lot too, because as someone who's an immigrant to the US, I feel like a lot of my behaviors have been based on observing others, because I figured out that that was a way for me to get integrated and accepted and interacted with the fastest, is to behave like other people. And so at a certain point now at 34, I'm just like, wow, I am just a collection of all of my experiences and the ways other people have treated me. Because even if I didn't try to emulate them and mirror them exactly to fit in, then I became reactive and did exactly the opposite, to rebel against the sensation of being rejected over and over again, because I felt like I wasn't ever going to be accepted. So why even bother trying to be accepted? Let me just do the opposite thing and be rejected finally for being this weird ass person who does everything opposite of everyone else. I think about this too in the context of knowing that my mom was a avid novel reader, and she loved novels about love stories. and how much that must have affected her own sense of how love should go down and what loyalty means, and you know, what romance should feel like and look like, and how she should behave as a woman, and just like thinking about all the ways in which the stuff that we consume in various ways interact with us, affect us, and become integrated into us. It's like, it's a lot to think about, actually. My Instagram Explore algorithm has gotten so stalkerish that within hours of me talking to a friend about relationship issues, my algorithm will give me posts targeting the specific issue that I was talking about with my friend. And then I read it, and then to some degree, because I'm already insecure about that issue and my circumstances and situations in life regarding that issue and surrounding that issue, I read it like advice. I read it like therapy. I let it affect me, you know? And so I think as our world becomes even more and more infiltrated and integrated with constant media, how fast we are evolving and developing and maybe devolving in tandem with the content that we've been fed. How much AI relies on us and our input and interaction to become what it is, and how much we integrate it into our lives, first as entertainment, then as professional outlets of creation and production, and then ultimately reliance, the way we rely on our phones. How we used to be able to like search things online and print maps out and then drive according to what's on the paper. And now if our phone dies mid-route, we're like fucked. Yeah. I'm Schneckenhaus says, the thing is, nobody really cares. I feel like it's just our perception of fitting in that makes us try to fit in, but I don't think nobody really cares. Isn't our perception so much of our reality, though? Like, Grandma's perception is her reality now. It's certainly not mine. My dead mom has not come back to life, but in her mind, oh yeah, my mom's back. My mom's back and traveling and working. I don't know, it's all very fascinating. I've also reached the point of like burnout where I find myself unable to feel anymore. Are you there yet? Have you been here? How long have you been here? I think we should try one of these. The really, really thick rice. Or rather, these are wheat flour sesame ones that I microwaved last time. I think I have to heat up this water again, though. It says dry sesame pancake. Let's just do this big ass piece. It's thick. It's like way thicker than the others. I feel like this one is all the previous ones we've eaten combined. it wild that we have a... Guys, what is the US even? Oh my God. We live in a country where an ex-president was convicted of 30 plus felonies and he can still run and be elected president, even if he goes to jail for the maximum sentence of 4 years. I just... It's like hilarious, but not. You know? The Dip It Loud condiment kind of tastes like you combined soybean paste, chili oil, and gochujang together. It's definitely sweet. It's definitely got like a almost seafood umami to it. It's definitely a little bit spicy. Very interesting. It takes a lot longer to cook this one. Water's at a full boil. The other rice paper would have been done by now. All right, we ready for a fresh glug glug? Beautiful, amazing, delicious. And watch how many people are still gonna vote for him. That's the most disappointing part. That people are still gonna vote for him. So... I think this wheat paper with sesame seeds is actually much better suited. Maybe I'm cooking it wrong. Maybe this should have been steamed, but I think I like this microwaved and fried into a crisp more because this is just so high effort to cook it. It's taking so long. Definitely not as convenient for the summertime, that's for sure. But I might be doing it wrong, is what I'm thinking. I'm gonna turn the water off because it is getting way too hot in here. I guess that's the difference between wheat and rice. I think the wheat is actually just kind of falling apart. Yeah, I don't know how to cook this. I did not cook this in the right way at all. Oh, that's definitely not edible yet. That was a major fail, you guys. Horrible. We're just gonna slap a lid on it. And maybe I'll eat an apple in the meantime. Here's a slightly mealy softened wine sap, Stamen wine sap apple. It's one of my favorites come apple season. Oh, you know what I did want to make though? I have the other like whipped cream cheese container that I really don't want to eat on its own because it doesn't taste great. I was thinking of making like a no-bake cheesecake with it. That could be an option. I think most no-bake cheesecakes have either gelatin or heavy cream or both. I have gelatin. I don't have heavy cream. So yes, I agree that we have forgotten that the government is a public servant employed by us. But is that still true, given what we've seen in the last 7 months? And before, if you were paying attention. I wasn't paying that degree of attention. But if you've paid attention to the last 7 months, I don't know if the government is employed by the people anymore. They seem to be employed by APAC and other lobbies. What is one step that we can take to make the government remember that we employ them? A mass tax strike, but the system is so ingrained that most people just do inertia. They get taxes taken out of their paychecks automatically. They file their tax returns at the end of the year. What else besides withholding our money can we do to remind the government that they should be responsive to our demands? I don't know. You know, so like, I don't know if we've forgotten it or if that's just actually no longer true. It might have become a myth. It's like we have extincted that version. My question is always, what should I be doing? But now, I'm not sure if there's anything to be done, given what we've seen, that would affect the kind of change that we need to see. I mean, we will keep moving in the ways that we feel are right, but maybe we have to detach the outcome from it. This rice stuff feels so weird. It feels like the SCOBY in a kombucha mother. And parts of it is still not cooked yet. It takes longer to cook than pasta noodles. What the hell is this? It's like slithery, slippery, super elasticy. It's got a nice pop of crunch in it from the sesame seeds. Yeah, so very interesting, y'all. It feels like we're just learning together that Santa Claus is not real. Existential political version. Very unpleasant. Am not a fan. Would like to get out of here, if possible. Not in terms of like getting out of the country or anything, just psychologically speaking, would like to not be in this place where I have to face these sad things. But maybe we can face them together. That is a weird texture for sure. The hell is that? It's like chewy and so crunchy in the middle. I don't know how I feel about it. I will eat it though. But I am getting quite full on just these wrappers and vegetables and 2 pieces of salty meat. It's so slithery, I can't pick it up. Oh my god. yes, I would like to join eventually. Someone just asked me where I see myself in 5 years, and I'm like, well, that depends on if grandma's dead. If she's not dead, she'll be 101, and I will be tired. Wow. Gary, what made you give up on meaningful change of this country 20 years ago? Was there like a defining moment for you where you were like, nah, this is just not gonna work? How true is it that we're all on some level just waiting to die? Like, I've always said this about grandma, that she's just probably waiting to die. But like, how true is it for most of us? Do you think, existentially speaking, like not physically, I mean, yes, physically we are all waiting to die, like, because we can't help it. But existentially speaking, if we're not expecting change to happen for the better, are we just all kind of waiting to die inside? Because if that's it, then that might bring me a lot of peace, honestly. If we agree together as a group that we've just resigned. I would love to be trained on how to take care of chickens. I would love to learn how to take care of chickens. Little tiny dinosaurs. Are they so tiring to take care of? Deal. Teach me everything about chicken tending. Let's make something with that tub of cream cheese I don't want to eat. Let's brainstorm some dessert ideas that will require no heat. Or Do you think it's possible for me to whip 1 egg into 8 ounces of cream cheese plus sugar and microwave it? Do you think we can make cheesecake in the microwave? Should we do it? I'm hoping you're gonna say yes. I could see me chilling out with 137 chickens. That's a lot. I'll start out with like 24. But yes, I want to be the chicken queen. Getting up before 4 a.m. That will require, I don't even go to sleep until like 2 sometimes. Let's Google microwave cheesecake. Microwave cheesecake recipe. Since we have technology, why not use? 5-minute microwave cheesecake recipe by Tasty. Oh, I don't have a crust though. Interesting. I don't have biscuits to make a crust out of, but I could blend up some oats. And I have some almond flour. Okay. Fun. And I have some chia seeds. That might be weird. Never mind. Oats and almond flour plus a little of grandma's butter packets. We can make a little crust. We can do this. This quick and easy cheesecake recipe can be made in just 5 minutes with a microwave. Top it off with your favorite fruit sauce or blah, blah, blah. Okay. 1 tablespoon butter, 2 sheets graham cracker, 4 ounces cream cheese softened. Oh, this is for 1 serving. They don't even have eggs going into this. I want an egg. They just have sugar and cheese going into this. What the fuck? That's so... I'm judging them. For sure I am. Alright. Just gonna butter our dish first, you know, get it nice and lubed up. Nice and lubed. Yeah. And then let's think about if we want to flavor our cheesecake with anything. Cardamom? Do we like cardamom? Cardamom and rose. Guys, rose sounds amazing. So we're not following this at all, obviously. We're just gonna do our thing. But it does say to microwave 45 seconds at a time at half power. And then it tells you to chill for 30 minutes in the freezer. So it's not even setting it, which is why we're gonna add eggs to ours. Yes? Yes. Okay, someone recently told me to start watching Naruto. So currently I'm watching Naruto. I would love to hear your feedback on your thoughts on the show. Previously I watched One Punch Man. I loved One Punch Man, but the first season was like the best and the second season was kind of meh, so I kind of stopped. But I will think of you, Amanda, while I'm eating it. Yes. Okay. So we're going to be blending some almond powder and oats with butter and sugar to make our crust in our spice grinder. First things first. Why would you tell me to watch a depressing one? Am I not depressed enough yet for you? Seriously, y'all. What are you trying to do to me? I think we should put cardamom and citrus zest into our cheesecake. Yes, now we're talking. For the crust, let's use some of our fancy ass vanilla sugar from Colombia. I have so much fancy sugar now. Abundance. I'm grateful. Do we want to flavor the crust with anything? Let's see. What do we got? Maybe some cardamom in the crust. And now we're gonna pop in some butter to make it cohesive. Well, we already have almond butter basically in the crust. So IDK about putting more nuts in the whole cheesecake. That's just gonna be a nut cake then, at that point. Let me lube up the other vessel too, in case we wanted to get two flavors going. Maybe we can make two different small cheesecakes. And since these containers have such wide bases, it is possible that they cook in even less time. How many of you guys struggle with doing nice things for yourself but not for others? Do you find it easier to spend money on other people that you love than on yourself? Oh, are we a bit unhinged today? More than normal? that you use for tapache? I think you can use whatever you want. Wait, I'm so not Chinese enough. What's the festival? What's the festival next week? Let's try our little crust paste. This is almonds and butter and sugar and oats. Ooh. Needs a little more sugar. I'm glad we tried that. And I think we will benefit from a little bit of cinnamon. And maybe a little bit of nutmeg. And I'm gonna put in a little more oats. Dragon Boat and Dumpling Festival. Oh, I'm so not in touch with that. So I guess not. All the almond is like stuck on the bottom, so I'm trying to scrape it up to get a well mixed bite for test. Ooh, guys, that tastes like graham crackers. All right, one more pat of butter in there to make it more cohesive. Ooh, that tastes so good. That tastes like graham crackers. I am pleased. I am very pleased. Nice. One pat of butter got us this consistency, which is what you want. It's not powdery anymore. It is loose, but it coheres together when you squish it. Okay, nutmeg, cinnamon, cardamom, oats, vanilla. Tastes like graham crackers. Noted. Okay, we have a little bit extra in there. I'm gonna leave it in there. I'm gonna try to work this in first. Create our little bottom crust. Work it up the sides. Probably should have parchmented this for an easy lift out, but that's no longer viable. gonna patch up the blank spot with our extra filling crust. And then just smooth it over. Pat it down. Okay. There's like a little bake shop near me that sells mini cheesecakes about the size of my palm for like $8 to $9 a piece. Honestly, it's not a terrible deal. Before, I would have never even contemplated making such purchases, but I just can't help but feel like they don't really use great ingredients in there. Like, I would have no problem paying even more for a tiny cheesecake if I knew they had great ingredients in there, but I just feel like they use cheap chocolate and they probably use cheap flour and sugar, and it just makes me more motivated to want to make the stuff I like to eat myself, even though I know it probably won't taste as good as the stores. Probably because I don't use as much sugar as outside establishments do. But I think the process is still fun. And it also makes me, I don't know, does it? Maybe this is up for debate. Does it make me less consumeristic if I made more things for myself, including food? Or am I just not playing into the supporting service workers economy as much? Like, I guess there is no morality here to speak of. It's all a jumble, much like everything in life. The more we see, the more confused we become. For me, anyway. No, it's not Bien Qui. I mean, I would have no problem buying Bien Qui. Bien Qui is all the way in Brooklyn, though. I don't live near any established Western bakeries. All right, so we have our crust here. Let's take a little bite. I'm still very happy with that crust. That's the other thing too, yeah, food costs are rocketing like crazy, and sometimes it doesn't even feel worth it to cook it myself because the price difference between buying the raw ingredients and then buying the thing already made is like negligible at times. It's wild. I don't know where they're sourcing their ingredients that they're not paying these prices, because they would have to buy the same ingredients that I'm buying somehow, hiring people and paying rent and utilities to turn it into a finished cooked product and then sell it to me for hardly 30% more than what I paid for it in terms of raw ingredients. Wild. Wild. My life is a mess. Everything is out here in the open. Alright, we're gonna finish eating those greens. Here's my little compost bin. Here's a jar that is clean that can be put away. Sorry, just getting my life in order first. Much needed exercise. Okay. And now we need a new mixing bowl for our cheesecake. I'm going to use this cream cheese too that I got from Grandma's a while ago. It's not great cream cheese. It's just been sitting in there. I don't feel like letting it sit in there anymore, so we're just gonna use it. And since this is not whipped, we're gonna go ahead and use our little spatula and break this down a little bit with sugar first. Ay, ay, ay. What am I doing? Just dropping butter all over the place. That's cool, that's cool, that's cool. Okay, time to wash our hands. I'm gonna add, let's use our maple sugar in the actual cheesecake portion. So double the fancy sugar. Sorry, you're not getting any of this action here. I think that's probably the most amount of maple sugar I've ever used in one go, but treat yourself. And then we're going to add in some citrus zest. Yes. And a little extra nutmeg, not too much. Okay. And a little vanilla powder. Nice. And a little rose. Cheesecake Diva. Okay, here's all of our spice mixes with the sugar and 1 pat of cream cheese. We're just gonna work in the cream cheese and break it down a little bit. Oh, it smells very interesting right now. The citrus, the rose, the maple, and the vanilla. It's a lot. I might have done too much with this. The rose powder is also from Burlap and Barrel. It is sourced from India. The tiny little one. It's ground like a powder, 17 grams. So now it's a smooth paste. There's no clumps of cream cheese. We can add in the rest of our cream cheese safely. It's just a rose petal, I think. Yeah, it says damask rose petals. So that is what it is. I don't know enough about rose botany to understand where the hip is. Is the rose hip like the little bud? Because I know they make rose hip oil, and I feel like my skin reacts to it very poorly. fresh peel. You ready? Okay. It's so aerated. It's got like little holes on the bottom. Kind of freaking me out. It's tripping off my little fear of holes phobia. Where the petals fall off. I see. 9 pounds, $9 per pound of black beans is like farmer's market price. I'm actually thinking one of these days I'll just treat myself to fancier beans, honestly. I eat maybe like 8 pounds of beans a year. Here's the way I'm calculating everything now. I was looking at really nice nuts that they source from small farmers in Afghanistan. It's like 2.2 pounds, so one kilo for $49. And I was like, oh my God, I've never paid $25 a pound for nuts before. But if I just eat like 5 of those bags, 5 times 5 is $250. If I spent $250 on nuts every year, and those were the only nuts that I bought for myself, I would consume less. I would consume higher quality. I would be supporting a better business, and it evens out to less than like 80 cents a day. So if I think about it that way, if I go out to eat with friends and it's like a mediocre meal, and I still spend like, I don't know, $50 for my portion of that meal, that's $50 too, you know? So that's the way I'm thinking about it now. I calculate it out over a year and figure out, is this an experience that would delight me over a year? We did not add egg yet. Great observation. We will, I promise. But I just want to taste the batter before we proceed. And now, do we microwave this cake one at a time? I think one at a time is best. Okay. Sweetness is good, but I think I want it slightly sweeter. Yeah. Let's do more vanilla. Because of the eggs going in, I just feel like slightly sweeter will be better. I will probably need a whisk for the eggs, maybe, because I do want to beat them up a little bit. Okay. Good. Great. This is 1 8-ounce. How many eggs do I need for this? I'm thinking just one. But let's look up a normal cheesecake recipe. We're just gonna go with the top one, which is sugar spun run. Sure, that looks great. You look like you have a fantastic cheesecake. And she uses 4 blocks of cream cheese for 4 eggs. So yeah, we can just do 1 egg. And these are jumbo eggs. She also has sour cream in there. Fascinating. I could technically put yogurt in there, but we're not going to do that. We are not going to do that today. But I think what I will do is maybe add a little bit of cornstarch in here to help it set. Just a little. That was maybe 2 teaspoons, maybe. Oh yeah, I usually get my nuts and dried fruit from the Indian stores and the South Asian stores around here. I don't know if they're Arab owned, but yeah, they do have great sales. But I don't know. Those nuts, they're from a company that Burlap and Barrel just collaborated with, and they're also a company that I came across at the Good Food show last year. And in my snack taste test video, you saw Samir and me try it. They're called Zeba, and they source from small farmers and foragers all over Afghanistan. They pay them in advance, in full, to secure the harvest, and they try their best to hire as many women as possible to join their supply chain, because women are kind of discouraged and banned from working in Afghanistan. So it's kind of a company like Burlap and Barrel where they are running a business, but they also try to have a little more social impact with the work that they're doing. And I did try those nuts, and they are very special. They're very like ununiform. Yum. Sorry, got carried away. And they do taste like way better quality stuff. They just taste more distinctive. Each almond almost tastes different, even though they're the same kind of almond in the same pack. So you know, just a little bit of thought and consideration into how to make my food purchases. maybe more in alignment, since I don't have other stuff that I really buy and spend money on. For the most part. Z-I-B-A. Ziba. And you can see how I've given up on life because I did not even set these on a scale to measure how much batter is going into each. We're just totally winging it. I'm very glad we oiled 2 containers because one would have been very hard to cook. I hope these turn out. Let's do them 1 minute at a time. I know people also Instant Pot cheesecakes, but I don't know. They're more or less the same, yeah? Yes, I tried the apricot kernels. I tried a lot because they gave me samples, 1 of each. Wow, 1 minute in, it's like already set in on the sides. Hey, I just missed your call because I'm on a live right now. Sure. Yes. Uh-huh. Ooh, do they still have Yeah, do they still have Yeah, I don't want those anymore, but if they have unsweetened dried papaya, I'll take some. Yeah, that's it. That was my usual go-to. Thank you for calling. I don't know. That's the only thing that sticks out to me from Sahadi's. That's the thing that I always used to buy. Wait, what? What are you eating?
It's a rich coconut almond cake. It's got farina, vegetable oil, whole milk, heavy cream, sugar, rose water, and coconut almond. It looks so amazing.
Oh, okay. That sounds good.
One of those for you too.
I don't want one. I just want the dried papaya.
You got it.
Thank you.
See you.
Bye. See you. So I can see why they said do it at 45 seconds on half power, because what happens on full power for a whole minute is the outside gets completely cooked and the inside is sloshy. But I think we're just gonna, that was 2 minutes? I think that was 2 minutes. Should we go for 1 more minute on this one? Actually, you know what might have helped is actually if we had cooked both of them together. That might have made sense, actually, because doing 2 in there means they cook more slowly. And you live and you learn. Let's do a whole minute with both of them in there and see what happens. Well, this is fun. Much less heat output, maybe more cancer. Who knows? Are we still of the microwave gives you cancer club? Mom was, but she didn't live around long enough to get cancer. Or maybe she did such a good job of staying away from the microwave that it really just decided it was not worth it attacking her, but other stuff got to her. Oh yeah, perfect set. Perfect set. Oh, that's the way we should do it from now on. If we ever do this again, both of them in at the same time, 1 minute apiece. Yeah, this is a way more even cook than the other one. All right, so I don't actually know how to turn the power. Oh, power level. Power level? Nope. Oh, there you go. We learned something new today. Power level 4. It was on 10. Half power. So farmers market eggs are $7 to $8 a dozen, usually size large. Medium can be had sometimes for $6. I don't see it that often. I don't know if they're technically organic, but I feel like I would trust farmers market eggs more than I trust like major companies saying they're organic eggs. But yeah, like Pita and Jerry's sometimes goes on sale for $6, maybe. We're gonna do a level 5 heat for a minute. All right, this is fun. So we'll just refrigerate this and dig into it sometime later. It is already sinking. It does not look appetizing at all, but my hopes are high. We'll just coat it with some coffee sugar, you know. It'll be fine. It is. I mean, a whole cheesecake for half an hour to an hour in the oven, or just 5 minutes in the microwave. If this works, it will be life-changing, for sure. Because I can buy a block of cream cheese for $3. An egg, some oats, some almonds. Probably another $1.50. Could have a bigger cheesecake for less money. Isn't that the idea? Isn't that the dream? Perfect set. Perfect set on that. That's exactly what you want. A cohesive bubble. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. I'm gonna do a little more power level 3 just for 30 seconds just to set it. I think that one's gonna be beauteous. Cheesecake tends to freeze well too. Yes. So fantastic. What a great live. Thank you all for joining me today. I'll let you know. Oh my gosh. It smells so mapley. It smells so good. But we have to wait for it to cool. I don't like hot cheesecake. It tastes kind of disgusting to me. Perfect. We're calling it. This is probably the better cheesecake for sure. Much even heating compared to this one. You can see the ridges for comparison. Smooth, gradual, and slow versus way too hard, way too fast. All right, peeps. Y'all have a good weekend. Y'all take care of yourself. You keep doing whatever it is that keeps you soulful. Have a soul from time to time, if that sounds good to you. And did we ever talk about Naruto? Did we like it? Wait, tell me what you think about Naruto. Do I have to go back in the chat? Did you talk about it? Damn, I missed that. I missed that whole thing. I'll find it later. Bye.